Hello and welcome once again. Today I am going to say something on Logit model by using Minitab software. As I told earlier also, you can download the Minitab software from internet, maybe in the trial version, and after that you can able to perform lot of tests, statistical tests. Let me explain the basic background or concept behind the Logit model. We know that two most important limitations of the linear probability model is that the fitted value may be sometimes with respect to some independent value or set of independent values may be negative or may be greater than 1, which is not realistic with respect to the range of probabilities. Similarly, since this is linear probability model, the estimated coefficients are linear. It means that with respect to the unit increase of the independent variable, the impact remains the same on the dependent variable. For example, in my last video, two variables, age and education, these two variables are significant and negative also. The coefficients are negative also. It means that if the education increases from 0, suppose illiterate, to 1 year of education, the impact on dependent variable, that means the probability of declines of smoking, the amount is same as if the education increases from 12 to first year or from 13 years of education to 14 years of education, same. Similarly, if the age increases from 19 to 20, the impact, that means declines in smoking, probability of smoking will be same as if the age increases from 40 to 41 or 50 to 51 or 60 to 61, same. So this is quite unrealistic. Similarly, we know the heteroscedasticity exists, the non-normality exists. These are the another kinds of problem associated with linear probability model. And just to overcome these limitations, one sophisticated binary response models are developed. This is popularly known as Logit model. Another one is also developed, that is known as Probit model. This Logit and Probit model, these two are very popular model among the researchers. This video I am trying to explain the Logit model first. So the Logit model assumes the probability distribution of the error term Ui of the regression equation of the study follows the logistic probability distribution, that is Pi equals to 1 by 1 plus e to the power minus z, where Pi is the probability of success, and you know success means it depends on the variable of the study. In our last example, the success means smoking. If between smoker and non-smoker, smoker is taken as success. And the zi is equals to beta x plus ui. So xi is the vector of independent variables that may affect the dependent variable, and beta is the respective parameters of the independent variables, and ui is the error term. With simple algebraic simplification, that means Pi equals to this, so 1 minus Pi equals to this, therefore taking the ratio of Pi divided by 1 minus Pi is equals to e to the power zi, or Li equals to taking log both sides, log of Pi by 1 minus Pi equals to log of e to the power zi, that is zi, that is bxi plus ui. Hence log of this is known as odds ratio, Pi by 1 minus Pi, odds ratio. So log of odds ratio is a linear function of the independent variables. Okay, not the direct probability, but the log of odds ratio. Okay, so that just now I have explained Pi. Okay, so Logit model, log of odds ratio depends linearly on xi. Now as the Pi moves from 0 to 1, the log of odds ratio moves from minus infinity to plus infinity. So there is no bound of the range of the values of the dependent variables from 0 to 1 or something like this. So it moves from 0 to minus infinity to plus infinity. Therefore, as the pi moves from 0 to 1, log of odds ratio moves from minus infinity to plus infinity. But here we cannot able to apply OLS, ordinary least square, in Logit model, because if we put here 0, we are getting the value as 0 by 1, that means log of 0. Similarly, if we put 1, we are getting 1 by 0, log of 1 by 0. So we cannot able to put the value. Therefore, we have to apply the maximum likelihood estimation in this for solving this regression equation, logistic regression equation. So we can, another important thing is how can we interpret this. So after estimation, we can interpret the Logit model in this way, that if the value of independent variable changes by 1 unit, how the log of odds ratio changes in favor of success. In our case, according to our example, smoking, though we use the same data set that we had used for linear probability model, here again we use the same data set. Okay, so how the log of odds ratio changes in favor of success if with the 1 unit increase. Similarly, some other results we will also explain later on, we will see. After getting the value of estimated parameter, we can easily compute the probability with respect to different set of values of the variable, because we know the value of z is related to p in this way, 1 by 1 plus e to the power z. So whenever we are getting the value of the parameter, we can get the value of the z, and we can convert or calculate the value of probability by using this relation. Now we go to our Minitab software and we import the data set. So you have to move to our Minitab software, the Minitab software. So, okay, so move to Minitab software. After that, go to File. After that, open Worksheet. After that, go to Desktop. In the desktop, you write smoking data, Excel, open. Okay, we are getting the data. We are getting the data in the software. Okay, now you have to go to stat, you have to go to regression. Now we are going to binary logistic regression, fit binary logistic model. Click. Okay, the response variable, our smoking is the response variable. Select response. Similarly, continuous predictor, age continuous predictor, our education continuous predictor, income continuous predictor. Similarly, categorical predictor is our gender categorical, location, because we have selected location as categorical 1 or 0 by putting the value. If it is urban area 1, otherwise 0, that means rural area 0. Similarly, gender, for male 1, female 0, in this way. Okay, so click OK. Okay, the result has come. So many results are there. We have to explain this result one by one. The results: binary logistic regression, smoker versus age, education, income, gender, location. Method: this is link function, Logit. Categorical predictor, that means if it is smoker 1, otherwise 0. Our number of sample size is 50. This is response information: smoker value 1, non-smoker 0. 33 respondents are smoker and 17 respondents are non-smoker out of 50. Deviance table shows the degree of association between the variable and the dependent variable. So with respect to p value, two values, that means one is age, another is education. Age and education, these two are significant. Okay, these two variables are significant. Now model summary, R square, adjusted R square, AIC. So if you want to check the validity of the model, you can incorporate one extra or additional variable, or you can exclude one variable. If the other model shows higher value of R square or adjusted R square or lower value of AIC, definitely you should accept the new model which includes the new variable or excludes the old variable. So generally selection of the model generally we depend on r square adjusted. More the higher the value of r square, higher the value of adjusted r square, and lower the value of AIC, we should select that model, lower the which shows low value of AIC. Similarly, coefficients, we know age and education, these two independent variables are significant. Now it shows the negative sign, the coefficient shows negative sign. It means with the increase of 1 unit increment of age or 1 unit increment of education, the probability of log of odds ratio will decline. How much decline? It will be shown by this value, odds ratio for continuous predictor, age and education. So this is the odds ratio. If with increase of 1 unit of age, the odds ratio will fall by this extent 0.9228. Similarly, with 1 unit increment of education, the log of odds ratio will decline in favor of smoking as by the amount 0.68 times. In this way we can also explain. Okay, income 1 and confidence interval 1 actually income is not significant. So if the odds ratio is 1, it means that independent variable is not significant. Now on the basis of the categorical variable, the gender, 1 means urban area, 0 means rural area. So with it means the log of odds ratio in favor of smoking will increase by this extent if the respondent is male. Similarly, if the respondent is from urban area, the log of odds ratio will increase by the extent of this log of odds ratio 4.05. In this way we have to explain. So regression equation, this law, the probability of smoking will be equal to expected value of y dash divided by 1 minus 1 plus expected value of y bar, and the value of y dash can be obtained from the 4 sets of regression equation. 4 sets of regression equation implies 0 0 means gender female, location rural. Similarly, female urban, male rural, male urban. So under this 4 category, 4 different types of regression models been developed or estimated, but the coefficients are same, only the intercept changes. On the basis of intercept, we can say that since the lowest intercept is 6.774, it means the lowest possibility of smoking will be if the gender is female or she lives in rural area. If we put the particular value of age or education or income, the set of values, we can able to calculate y dash, and we can also calculate the probability of smoking corresponding to that independent the value of independent variable. In this way, for any set of categorical variable, we can able to calculate the probability. Okay, calculate the probability. Okay, now these are the unusual observations the software provides, which are the unusual observations. For example, observations 4, observation 28, observation 47, 50, these are unusual observations. So we can change or delete these unusual observations, and we can able to calculate the estimated value, so that we can able to see or check the extent or impact of these unusual observations. Okay, so in this way we can explain the Logit model after getting the estimation, and the most important thing is the explanation. How can we interpret the result? This is the most important task for a researcher. Similarly, if you want to see the graph, that means how the binary fitted line plot variable affects. You can check this one, binary line plot. Okay, response variable is smoker and smoker. Okay, and predictor is suppose education predictor. Okay, so graphically we want to show the impact of the independent variable education on the response variable, that is smoker. Here it is smoker, the response variable, and predictor education. Click OK. This is the graphical representation of the Logit model, that is the impact of smoking on education. It clearly shows that as the level of education increases, the probability of smoking declines. So up to this extent of education, maybe 8 year of education, the decline is very slow, but after that there is a steady decline, the probability of smoking. Similarly, if we want to show the graphically the impact of smoking on age, just go to stat, go to regression, go to binary fitted line plot. So here instead of education you have to put the age, because these two are significant variable. Okay. So this diagram shows how steadily the probability of smoking declines with the increases of age. So with this we are concluding today. Thank you.